Good morning, friends and family of YouTube. It's Travis again, and today we're going to be hiking over to the little Greenbrier Schoolhouse and then on over to the Walker Sisters cabin. But before we get started, let me give you some directions on how to get here, and those are coming up right now. Alright, so this morning we're going to do something a little different. You're still going to be traveling from the Maryville-Alcoa area. You'll pass through the city of Townsend. But normally I would tell you to go straight on up to the Townsend Y and make a left going towards Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area. But today we're going to make a left on Wares Valley Road. Never driven Wares Valley Road before. It is extremely curvy. It's a mountainous road, but be prepared for this one particular curve. It's almost a 180 turn, so if you get motion sickness going through the mountains and in curves, this is probably not the one to take. But unfortunately there's not really a good straightaway to get to where we're going. So it's about a 10-minute drive from when we first turned on to Wares Valley Road, and then you're going to make a right on Line Springs Road. So you're going to stay straight on this road. It'll take you all the way over to Metcalf Bottoms, which is going to be our final destination to park. Alright, so where we're headed, there is actually a road right there that you can take, but I'm going to show you as we get into the hike what that road looks like. And the trailhead is right here in front of us, but we're going to go ahead and go across the bridge and park at Metcalf Bottoms, and then we'll walk back around here. We're just going to pull in here and find us a parking spot, and then we'll get situated. Alright, so here is the parking area, which there is plenty of it, so that's one cool thing about this particular trail. And then this is Metcalf Bottoms picnic area, so plenty of picnic tables. They've got restroom facilities. They do, if you need a parking permit, they do have a machine over here that will print that out. Alright, so we do have to walk across this bridge, which early in the morning isn't bad. There's been several cars so far, but it will definitely pick up as the day goes on. I've got a couple already behind me here. But here is the view of the river. So let's get across the other side here real quick and we'll start on this trail. All right. Metcalf Bottoms Trail, Little Greenbrier School, this way. All right, welcome back. So as I've stated before, we're going to go to the little Greenbrier Schoolhouse first and then go to the Walker Sisters cabin at the end. This is about 4 miles round trip. Take probably a couple hours depending on how much time you want to spend and how fast that you walk. But anyway, let me pan around here real quick. As you can see, we're right in the middle of fall, so this is probably peak colors for the season. I got here last week, was hiking and noticed there was still a lot of green on the trees, but I think we're officially there. And I apologize for the video quality. It's still early and overcast, so I've had to change the ISO and the exposure on the video to hopefully lighten it up just a little bit, but the video quality will probably not be as good. But anyway, let's get started and I'll show you some more on this trail. Alright, so this trail starts off with a pretty decent incline, and then you have to go back down, and then it kind of levels off a little bit, but just give you quick shot here. So there is a small creek here at the beginning that runs down into the main part of the river down there, but we'll continue on up this way, and I'll show you a little bit more of the trail as we progress. It is wet and nasty out here this morning, so trail's pretty slick with all these leaves on the ground, but hopefully you can see the beauty in all the colors. I mean, they are really starting to pop now. The rain that we've had actually has helped the colors become a lot more vibrant, so that's always nice to see. It'd been dry for about the past 3 weeks. Didn't think we were going to get quite the colors, and they're probably not going to show up that great on the video with it still being kind of dark outside, but hopefully you at least get an idea of what the fall colors here in the Smokies look like right now. And another cool thing on this trail, if you come from Metcalf Bottoms and hike in, is you get this to go across this wooden bridge. And as you guys know, like, I love these bridges. I don't know why, I'm just fascinated with them. But anyway, you do get that. So just give you a shot here of the creek, and that's the one that follows this trail most of the way up here to the schoolhouse. So if you like these wooden bridges like I do, you've got at least that one to go across, so that's something to look forward to. And I don't really count this one as a bridge, but you've got a little wooden log to go across. And then, guess what? There's a second bridge. I forgot about this one. So, 2 of these, just getting up here to the schoolhouse. Let's go across here. And as you can see, there's the schoolhouse. Another shot of the creek. But it's only like 6/10 of a mile to get here to this. So pretty quick walk. Well, here is the schoolhouse. And then the cemetery is up there. That's where we'll be headed in a minute. There's the parking area if you come in from the road. But let's go in here real quick. Don't know if you'll even be able to see this, even with the settings on this adjusted, because it's pretty dark. But here is the inside of the schoolhouse. Probably looks just super dark on video, but hopefully you'll be able to see some of that. That's a problem with me hiking so early. It's usually so dark, you have a hard time seeing some of the video. But anyway, so here's the cemetery, and it is open so that you can go and look around. There are quite a few really old gravestones. I'll just give you a shot of that real quick. But where we need to go to continue this trail is on up the hill here. All right, so there is the trail where we're going to head, and that goes on around down here to where the parking area is at. But I want to show you this real quick. This road that you drive in on, it's really just a 1 lane. And like, you've got a good pull off right here on this side. But I've driven this once before. I think it was earlier this year, because I'd never driven. I always hike up here. And this is what most of this road looks like. So if you meet a car coming the opposite direction, it's extremely difficult to pull over. There's just not a lot of room, and it gets curvy up through there where you're kind of going around some blind curves and you can't really see if there's a car coming. So anyway, if you decide to drive up here, which if you're not able to hike, you can at least drive in and go see the schoolhouse. So take advantage of that. All I'm saying is just be cautious when you do that, because it is a 1 lane road and you'll need to be very careful of oncoming traffic. So anyway, we're going to head right up here to finish the second part of the trail that goes over to the Walker sisters cabin. All right, so right here where it says do not block gate, we're going to go. You can either go around or under. Luckily I'm a small person, so I can go under fairly easily. But you'll see the sign up here that says Walker Sisters Cabin, 1.1 miles. So 1.1, that's 2.2 plus the 0.6 That's another 1.2. Yeah, so you're right at, it's not quite 4 miles, but based on the way that I kind of linger, and you know how I do, I just kind of drift off and go exploring while I'm out here. It'll be at least 4 miles round trip by the time I'm done. All right, so the actual distance according to the signs is going to be like 3.4 miles. The All Trails app is saying 4, and I think it's actually closer to 4, to be honest. So just be prepared for that. Like I said, take a couple hours. And I almost didn't do this trail today because right now with the fall colors in peak, like there's a lot of traffic in the Smokies right now. Everybody coming up to, you know, spend the week or the weekend and enjoy the colors, and a lot of fall festivities going on right now, which is awesome. So lots of things to do up here, but that also makes the trails here a lot busier than normal. So anyway, this is a more popular trail, and I tend to go to less popular trails when there's a lot of people out. I just like being out here by myself. So anyway, glad I did, because so far I haven't seen anybody. I've seen a lot of cars down there when I pulled in, but I haven't seen anybody on the trail or anybody that was parked to hike yet. So I'm sure I'll pass some people on the way back, but right now I've got the whole trail to myself, which is what I like. So the first part of the trail from Metcalf Bottoms up to the little Greenbrier Schoolhouse, that is actually like a hiking trail, right? So there is incline and decline. That's probably a little rougher part of the trail, but as you can see here from the little Greenbrier Schoolhouse up to the Walker sisters cabin, I mean, this is basically a gravel road, because the Park Service does have to have the ability to have access where they can get up here and make repairs to the cabin. So this is from the schoolhouse to here. I mean, it's pretty smooth sailing. There's not like a ton of incline, and you're not really having to work that hard. So it's a nice little hike if this is one that you're interested in. I completely forgot about this crossing here. This is another one of these wooden bridges. So as you can see, you can drive through that, and you can definitely walk through it. Right now the water levels are not high, but just for the fact that I love these bridges, I'm gonna go across it. So still part of the little creek that runs beside this trail, but just an awesome little trail and view here, especially with the fall colors. Just to let you know, this right here is going to be tough to beat, hiking on one of these trails in the fall when the colors are out. And man, if the sun was out right now, these colors would absolutely be vibrant. But it's still early, a little bit of fog, and definitely overcast right now, which is keeping the temperatures cool, but you just can't see like how awesome these colors look. All right, so we're coming up here to the intersection of where we need to turn. So Walker's sister's cabin is 0.1 miles to our right, and then you can take this trail forward, Little Greenbrier Gap and Little Greenbrier Trail, so half mile. That actually starts back over on that Lion Spring road that we passed. Like when you get to the top of the hills, you start to come back down, you can park there and hike this way in. But the way that we came is by far the easiest and the shortest. So this is the one that I would recommend. But the other trail is nice too. I've done that one, but this one is just much easier and faster. Alright, so here we have it as we're entering Walker Sisters cabin. Kind of give you a view of what it looks like as we approach. Here's the old spring where they could have gotten water from. Of course, they also stored stuff in here because the spring water actually kept that area a lot cooler throughout the year. So it would have been a good place to store things. And then Here's the cabin itself. So let's go up here and look at this real quick. Here is the exterior building they used for, I think they actually would store a lot of like tobacco or different crops, and maybe put some hay in here for some of their animals. But you can see they had some storage there. And then over here, they would have parked like any of their equipment if they had a buggy. But it's a pretty cool area. And we'll do a quick walk through while there's nobody here yet, because I don't know how soon it will be before someone else shows up. Usually there's somebody not far behind me. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Again, it is dark. There's the fireplace. And then they've got some information here that you can read about the cabin. So you've got this room kind of off by itself. Come in here. This is the main living area. And there is another fireplace there. Of course, this goes outside to the back of the property. And we'll walk around that in a minute. And then, let me get my flashlight out because you're not going to be able to see it. But there is a ladder that goes up to the top. So we'll see if we can get up there and see that in just a second. Alright, so here's the upstairs, if we can see it. They've got it blocked off, so I'll try to give you a view if possible from up there. Alright, not sure if you'll be able to see anything or not, but I'm trying to use the flashlight here. Give you an idea what this looks like. But definitely a whole nother room up here. And there's a window over there. But anyway, hopefully it at least gives you an idea of what this would have looked like back in the day. And also, these walls used to be lined with newspaper to help with insulation. So probably not be able to make out much of it, but you can still see some of the writing. So if you do have the opportunity to come up here and visit, you can check that out, because it's pretty cool. See some of the old newspapers that they would have used for insulation. But anyway, I know that's going to be difficult to see. It's so dark in here. I was just trying to find some print that you might be able to read. There's one that looks like it's maybe from the New York Times or Post. But let me come out here and scan around the outside first. I've done multiple videos on this cabin, but it's just kind of an awesome spot. So if this is the first time that you're seeing this, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Let's pan around here a little bit. Sorry, I'm using the gimbal, and it still takes me a little bit of time to get used to it, but I'm hoping that it's going to make the video a little bit more stable than normal. So we'll pan around here real quick. Try to get the front. And they did have to do some repairs on this last year because it was getting in bad shape. But anyway, that is the cabin itself. All right, so that's the Walker sisters cabin. First stop there was at the little Greenbrier Schoolhouse. It was 0.6 miles from Metcalf Bottoms to that point, and then another 1.1 from the schoolhouse up here to the cabin. Depending on your math, it's 3.4. If you go by the signs, it's 4 miles based on the All Trails app. So we'll call it 3.5 to 4 just for safety's sake. We'll take about 2 hours probably to complete, depending on how fast you walk and how much time you want to spend once you get here to the cabin to explore. You do have the 3 wooden bridges that you go across, which I think is always awesome. There is the one little log that you go across the creek, so maybe 3.5. But anyway, this hike is, I say this all the time, but this is one of my favorites just because that it's a shorter hike. It doesn't have a ton of incline and decline in it other than just that initial start when you're leaving Metcalf Bottoms. The rest of it is like an old road bed, so it's fairly easy to walk, and you've got several sites on the way. So one that I would highly recommend if you have the opportunity to visit. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. And I'll also go ahead and ask you to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification the next time I publish another video. But until next time, just keep walking.